Welcome to AI Frontiers, where we explore the cutting edge of artificial intelligence research. Today, we're diving into one of the most critical battlegrounds of our digital future, the intersection of AI and cybersecurity. We'll examine 17 groundbreaking research papers that reveal how machine learning is revolutionizing everything from protecting transportation systems to securing genetic data, and from defending against quantum computing threats to detecting sophisticated financial crimes. Picture this. In the time it takes you to listen to this single sentence, cybercriminals around the world have launched approximately 4,000 new attacks against computer systems. Meanwhile, artificial intelligence models processing billions of operations make decisions that could either protect us from these threats or, in some cases, become the very weapons used against us. This is the paradox of our digital age, where the same AI systems we're building to defend our most critical infrastructure could potentially be turned into the most sophisticated attack tools ever created. 4,000 attacks in one sentence. That's the staggering reality of our digital vulnerability today. This brings us to the heart of today's exploration. A world where machine learning is revolutionizing threat detection across every domain imaginable. AI systems now protect everything from transportation networks to genetic databases, while simultaneously defending against emerging quantum computing threats. Yet here's what makes this particularly fascinating. We're discovering that the very AI systems we're building to protect us are themselves vulnerable to entirely new categories of attacks that didn't exist just a few years ago. It's like an endless chess match where the rules change every few moves, new pieces appear without warning, and both players simultaneously try to predict their opponent's strategy while defending against moves that haven't been invented yet. To understand this landscape, we need to examine computer science cryptography and security, known as CS.CR in research circles. This field represents one of the most dynamic and critical areas of computer science, where mathematical rigor meets practical engineering solutions, and where the stakes couldn't be higher. The field bridges multiple disciplines in fascinating ways, combining advanced mathematics with behavioral psychology. Researchers study not just how to build unbreakable encryption algorithms, but also how humans actually interact with security systems in the real world. What makes this research particularly compelling is its fundamentally adversarial nature. Unlike most areas of computer science where researchers optimize for efficiency or accuracy, cybersecurity researchers operate in an environment where intelligent adversaries actively work to defeat every protective measure they create. It's like trying to build a fortress while your enemies watch your every move and adapt their siege tactics in real time. The first major theme emerging from current research is AI-enhanced threat detection and analysis. Imagine having a security guard who never sleeps, can process millions of pieces of information simultaneously, and gets smarter with every threat they encounter. That's essentially what researchers are building when they use large language models to automate threat modeling processes in transportation systems, or when they employ graph neural networks to identify money laundering patterns in complex financial transaction networks. This theme reflects a growing recognition that traditional signature-based detection methods, which look for known patterns of malicious behavior, are simply insufficient for modern threats. Cybercriminals are using AI to create attacks that constantly change and adapt, so our defenses need to be equally intelligent and adaptive. It's the difference between having a lock that only recognizes specific keys versus having a smart lock that can learn to recognize suspicious behavior patterns and adapt its security measures accordingly. The second prominent theme is adversarial machine learning and model security, which focuses on a deeply troubling paradox. As we increasingly rely on AI systems for security, we must also secure these AI systems against sophisticated attacks. Several papers reveal how attackers can manipulate machine learning models through carefully crafted inputs, including research showing how genomic foundation models can be fooled into making incorrect predictions about genetic diseases, and how multimodal language models can be compromised through non-textual inputs, like specially crafted images or audio files. Think of this like discovering that your most trusted security advisor can be hypnotized into giving you completely wrong advice, but the hypnosis is so subtle that you can't tell it's happening. This theme highlights a critical challenge. The very capabilities that make AI systems powerful, such as their ability to learn from data and make complex decisions, also create new vulnerabilities that didn't exist in traditional software systems. The third theme centers on post-quantum cryptography and future-proofing security. With quantum computers posing an existential threat to current cryptographic systems, researchers are racing to develop quantum-resistant alternatives. It's like knowing that a master locksmith who can open any current lock will arrive in 10 years, so you need to invent entirely new types of locks that even this future master cannot crack. The mobile application ecosystem shows particularly concerning vulnerabilities, with widespread reliance on cryptographic techniques that quantum computers could easily break. This represents a 10-year countdown to a potential cryptographic revolution that could render our current security measures obsolete overnight. The urgency of this research cannot be overstated, as organizations worldwide must prepare for technological disruptions that could fundamentally alter the cybersecurity landscape. The research reveals several groundbreaking findings with significant implications for cybersecurity. One of the most remarkable discoveries involves the effectiveness of large language models in cybersecurity applications, with AI systems achieving 90% precision in identifying relevant attack techniques across transportation cyber-physical systems. However, perhaps more alarming is the discovery of fundamental vulnerabilities in modern AI systems themselves. Research on genomic foundation models reveals that even large, sophisticated models used for predicting genetic disease effects are susceptible to adversarial attacks. Analysis of over 4,000 Android applications shows extensive reliance on quantum-vulnerable algorithms like MD5, SHA-1, and RSA, while post-quantum cryptographic adoption remains virtually absent in production applications. Additionally, researchers have developed new fingerprinting techniques using WebAssembly that can identify devices across different browsing sessions with less than 1% false positive rate, even when traditional identifiers are completely spoofed. Now, let me take you deep into one particularly fascinating piece of research that exemplifies the cutting edge of this field. The paper by Salek and colleagues introduces the Transportation Cybersecurity and Resiliency Threat Modeling Framework, or TraCR-TMF, which represents a paradigm shift in how we approach cybersecurity for transportation cyber-physical systems. Imagine you're responsible for securing an entire city's transportation network, from traffic lights and subway systems to autonomous vehicles and smart parking meters. Traditional approaches would require teams of cybersecurity experts spending months analyzing each component, identifying potential vulnerabilities, and developing countermeasures. But what if you could automate this entire process using artificial intelligence, achieving expert-level accuracy while requiring minimal human expertise? That's exactly what the TraCR-TMF framework accomplishes, democratizing advanced cybersecurity capabilities for organizations regardless of their resources or expertise levels. What makes this research particularly sophisticated is its implementation of three distinct large language model-based approaches to accommodate different levels of available expertise. The first approach uses retrieval-augmented generation requiring no expert input, making advanced threat modeling accessible to organizations without dedicated cybersecurity teams. Think of it as having a cybersecurity consultant who has read every security report ever written and can instantly apply that knowledge to your specific transportation system. The second approach employs in-context learning with low expert input, providing a middle ground for organizations with limited security expertise. The third uses supervised fine-tuning requiring moderate expert input, offering the highest accuracy for organizations with available security knowledge. The framework leverages the MITRE-ACSEC matrix, a globally accessible knowledge base of adversary tactics and techniques observed in real-world attacks. This choice is strategically brilliant because it ensures that the framework's threat identification capabilities are grounded in actual attack patterns rather than theoretical vulnerabilities. The experimental validation demonstrates remarkable effectiveness, with the framework achieving 90% precision in identifying relevant attack techniques across transportation systems when validated by security experts. But here's what makes this truly impressive. The fine-tuned model successfully predicted multiple exploitation techniques, including lateral movement, data exfiltration, and ransomware-related encryption that occurred during a major real-world cyber attack incident. This retrospective validation provides strong evidence that the framework can identify realistic attack scenarios, rather than merely theoretical vulnerabilities. The human story behind this research is equally compelling. The researchers recognize that cybersecurity expertise is becoming increasingly scarce and expensive, while transportation systems are becoming more complex and interconnected. By democratizing advanced cybersecurity capabilities through AI automation, this framework could help level the playing field and improve security across the global transportation network, enabling smaller organizations and developing regions to implement sophisticated security measures. Looking toward the future, the trajectory of cybersecurity research points towards several exciting and critical directions. Think of the current state of cybersecurity as being like the early days of medicine, when doctors could diagnose obvious symptoms but lacked the tools to see inside the human body or understand complex systemic interactions. We're moving toward an era of cybersecurity that's more like modern medicine, with sophisticated diagnostic tools, predictive capabilities, and personalized treatments for different types of systems and threats. One of the most promising directions involves the development of self-adapting security systems that can learn and evolve in real time as new threats emerge. These systems would combine the pattern recognition capabilities of machine learning with the formal verification techniques of traditional security analysis. Another critical direction focuses on addressing the fundamental security challenges posed by AI systems themselves, including developing techniques for detecting and preventing emergent deception in AI systems. The integration of quantum-resistant cryptography and privacy-preserving computation techniques represents additional urgent research directions. As we conclude our exploration of this fascinating and critical field, it's clear that we're living through a pivotal moment in cybersecurity history. The same artificial intelligence technologies that promise to revolutionize how we detect and respond to cyber threats also introduce entirely new categories of vulnerabilities that we're only beginning to understand. The Transportation Threat Modeling Framework shows us how AI can democratize advanced cybersecurity capabilities, making expert-level protection accessible to organizations regardless of their resources or expertise. The discoveries about AI system vulnerabilities remind us that as we build increasingly sophisticated defenses, we must also secure the defenders themselves. The findings about quantum readiness highlight the urgent need to prepare for technological disruptions that could render our current security measures obsolete. This high-stakes digital cat-and-mouse game requires all of us to stay informed, keep questioning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible in our ongoing quest to stay one step ahead of those who would do us harm in cyberspace. This episode was created using advanced AI synthesis techniques to bring you the latest research insights. The content was synthesized using Claude Sonnet 4202-50514, with text-to-speech synthesis powered by Deepgram and image generation through Google AI. While human expert review and validation processes were employed throughout production, we acknowledge that potential oversights may exist in our interpretation of complex research findings. We encourage listeners to explore the original research papers for complete technical details and to form their own conclusions about these important cybersecurity developments. The AI synthesis process allows us to rapidly process and summarize large volumes of cutting-edge research, but human expertise remains essential for contextualizing and validating these technological insights. Thank you for joining us on AI Frontiers today. Subscribe to our channel for daily updates on cutting-edge AI research and share your thoughts using the hashtag AI Frontiers. We encourage you to dig into these research papers yourself, explore the methodologies and findings in detail, and consider how these developments might affect your own digital life and work. Join the conversation about how we can build a more secure digital future. The next breakthrough in cybersecurity might come from someone listening to this very episode. In this podcast, we bring you the latest breakthroughs in computer science and AI, straight from archived preprint server. From neural networks to quantum computing, we simplify complex research so you can stay ahead. Whether you're a developer, researcher, or tech enthusiast, AI Frontiers keeps you informed daily. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, subscribe for daily updates. See you tomorrow with more cutting-edge AI insights. Disclaimer: this video uses arcopreprinserver.org. Content under its API terms of use. AI Frontiers is not affiliated with or endorsed by archivepreprinserver.org.